Hi, I'm Candy Cat. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to use OBS Studios. Don't be scared, I got you. I'm going to take you through these steps nice and easy so they don't come across too daunting at first. And by the end of this, you're going to be an OBS pro just like I am. And I'm going to be teaching you how to do the basic installation and setup just so you can get started with live streaming and recording. So, if this tutorial is helpful to you, like and subscribe because I'm going to be coming out a lot more tutorials on how you can set up your stream and integrate bots, alerts, and just a bunch of fun stuff that you may have seen over on my stream before. I stream every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. CT, so come join me on one of my live streams. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and Google OBS Studios. It should be one of the first ones that pop up. Go ahead and click on it, and you should see the download page, and I'll meet you over there. Okay, here we are. This is what you will see after downloading it from Google. You can just go ahead and download this installer, or if you want to go ahead to this home tab, you can see what is compatible with your device. I am compatible with Windows, so that's what I'm going to click. It will automatically start to download, and you'll see that in the upper right-hand corner. Once it's all the way completed, you're going to click on it, and you're going to follow the prompts to install it to your computer. You're going to have to agree to some things, and once you're done with that, you can go ahead and open it if it doesn't open itself. And I will meet you over into the OBS interface to show you how to continue to set this up. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is for you to right-click inside the audio mixer and to click vertical layout. In my opinion, this is the way you want to have it because it will really save you some space down here, and I'm going to add a few things here to help you out with OBS Studios, and I think this will be the best way for you to have your audio. Next, you want to go to Settings, and you want to go to Audio. We're going to focus on desktop audio and our microphone. Everything else you just leave blank. So the desktop audio is where you're going to hear your YouTube videos, your sound alerts, and your music and everything else like that. So you're just going to hit speakers. That's the speakers on your computer that will be picked up through OBS Studios. And for the microphone, you're going to pick whatever microphone you are currently using. I'm going to pick my microphone. You may also see like capture card, your webcam that may have microphones and stuff on them, but just focus on your microphone. And then you're going to hit apply and OK. And you should see that your microphone is now moving. Yours will probably look like this, but you're going to want to kind of toggle it down so that the green is just barely hitting into the orange so that it is not too loud for your viewers and it caps out before it's breaking their eardrums. So after we have our audio hooked up, let's go back into settings and let's check everything else out that we have here. We don't really have to do anything in general unless you want to change your language or your updates or anything like that. Go ahead and look through those, but I don't really touch anything inside of general. Appearances, you can change the theme and the style. There's all different kinds of fun styles here. You can also download some more of these off of the plugins page if you wanted to. I'll go over that in another tutorial. But I like this one here. I think it's pretty and teal's one of my favorite colors. Make sure you do hit apply down here at the bottom. But we're going to go into stream. Right here is where you're going to connect which service you are going to be streaming to. This tutorial is based upon OBS and Twitch, but you do have the option to connect Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook Live, and all different kinds of stuff. But we're going to focus on Twitch. Then you're going to hit this connect your account, which is recommended. You're going to follow the prompts, log in, and then you will have your Twitch connected to your OBS Studios. So here we are on the output tab. This is what you should see. And this just gives you information on your streaming and recording. You have the simple mode and the advanced mode. But for now, we're just going to leave you guys in simple mode. You just want to make sure that you pick your video encoding software. This should automatically go to your main encoder. but you may have another option. I recommend using your software. Mine is the X264, but you may have a different encoder than I do. So just run whichever one's best for your computer, and I will touch a little bit more on that in a different video. Your bit rate will depend on how you have your scenes set up in your video. So with video, we're going to skip audio since we already did that, and we're going to go to video. This is where you're going to have your base resolution and your output resolution. So that is going to be how big this screen is right here. So 1920 by 1080 is the most clear-cut resolution that you can have as a streamer. You really want to try to do streams in 1920 by 1080, but your computer encoder may not be able to handle that. When I first started streaming, my very first computer could not stream in 1920 and 1080. I had to scale it down to 1280 by 720. And this is going to make it so that this window here shrinks down in size. And you want to make sure that you do this before you start setting things up. Because if you start setting things up in 1080 and you have to scale down to 720, you're going to have to resize your entire scenes here. And it can be a little bit annoying. I've had to do that before. You're also, if you change down to 720, you're going to want to change your FPS to 30. It's always good to scale down the common FPS values as well as the resolution so that your computer is able to run the frames per second with the resolution and have them matching. I have a StarForge PC, so I can handle 1920 by 1080, and I can also stream at 60 FPS. But your computer may not be able to handle this. I will go over this more in another video. We also have our hotkeys. I don't really do anything with hotkeys because I have a Stream Deck, but I can show you guys how to do this in a future video. Accessibility, we don't really need to use this, and advanced, just make sure that you have your stream delay enabled and set to 0. This will make sure that there's no delay between you and chat, or it's a very, very little delay, and make sure that you check off the preserve cutoff point so that it's just kind of, in my opinion, it works better with the preserve cutoff point turned off. You're also going to want to have enabled browser source hardware acceleration. And so after all that, go ahead and click apply and OK. One thing I did forget to touch on is inside of your output, you're going to want to choose your recording path within your files so that if you're going to be recording videos or any kind of content through OBS Studios, that those are recorded to your files. And once you do that, just hit apply and OK. Next, I want to take you to docs. These are going to be the docs that you set up here in your window to help you see things on your stream. I really want you to set up this stats doc. This stats doc is one of the most important and has helped me out the most when it comes to using OBS Studios and letting me see what my computer is doing, what it can handle, and just it's saved my butt so many times. I highly recommend you leave this stats window here at all times. You're going to have your FPS here. You're going to be able to see when your FPS is dropping. You're going to be able to see when you're having render lag. I'll be doing a big video on render lag because boy, have I gone through it with render lag and streaming. And you're going to be able to see when you're having coding lag. And network frame droppage. This means internet. This is going to show you when your internet is acting like a butt face. Boy, has this saved my butt so many times. highly recommend this being your very first ever doc that you put in your stream. Okay, so when you loaded in with your Twitch, you should have had a chat window pop up and an activity feed window popped up automatically, and those are called docs. So when you go to docs up here, you're going to see a whole list right here, and you should see a chat. Go ahead and click on that if your chat wasn't already in, and you should see a chat window. You can place this wherever you want inside OBS Studios. You kind of have to move it around a little bit so that it fits in, but it should pop right in there. So you can move your chat and make it as large or as small as you would like it to be. I like to make mine about this big just so that I can see everything that's going on. You're also going to want to bring in your stream information. This is going to let you be able to update everything regarding your stream before you go live. You're going to be able to change your stream title, your notification, what category you're sitting in, and I like to use this a lot as well. I'll show you how I usually have mine set up. So I have a 3-monitor setup, and I usually like to move my chat and put it on this far left side, and then I'll put my stream information over here, and then I crop it to make it smaller, as small as it can go. And then I'll move chat out a little bit as well to make this bigger so that the window's right here, and then I have my chat. I also like to bring in my Twitch stats. This tells you how many views you got, how many followers you have, what your current subscriptions are, and I like to stick this on top of the stats window, and I don't usually like to see what my average viewers are where I'm streaming because you know that can mind game you for real. So I like to pull this up and I like to scroll down just so that I see how many followers I have and how many subscribers I have. You of course can scroll up and see how many live views you have if that's something you want to do. I think this looks really neat. It helps me to be able to see what's going on with the stream, and I love it. I also like to put in my Twitch activity feed. Ah, there it is. I was like, where'd it go? And so I like to put this just right beside both of these docs. And you kind of have to mess around with it sometimes in order for it to pop in. But once you see the window for it to pop in, you can just pop this back out if it does that. And then you can just put it back again underneath this so that it looks neat. And you can really just crop these and, you know, move these around to do what you would like. And then you can make this bigger, smaller. So, but you will always have this window here in the middle so you can see what's going on. And yeah, I'm going to hit not now on this. I'm going to exit that out, and you can see all of my activity that I had from my latest stream here on Twitch. I'm going to show you something now. I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to show you what studio mode does over here in settings. So studio mode is going to be, you have your starting soon. This is where you're going to have your mainstream activities going on. And this is going to allow you to tweak things within your scenes and your sources. And I'll get into scenes and sources very soon. This is going to be my last step because this is a lot to cover here. So you're going to be able to kind of like, if you want to move something around without it stream necessarily seeing it until you're done with it, you're going to be able to do that here. And you're also going to be able to, like, you know, maybe open up a window capture and capture, you know, like a YouTube video that you're watching, and like be able to crop that in here, make it look nice. And then before your stream can see it, you're going to be able to, you know, have it looking the way you want it. And then you just hit studio mode again, and then the stream will be able to see the preview that you want them to with everything added in. So now we got this looking good. We got our chat here. We got all of our information that we need. We got our stat window. Now it's time to start setting up our scenes and our sources. Okay, so you're going to have one that says scene. You can right click that and you can go to rename, and you can rename it whatever you would want. I renamed mine starting soon because that's always the very first scene that I set up. So with your starting soon, you can go over to sources and you can add your overlay that goes to your starting soon. Say maybe you had some art commission or you bought an overlay package off of a website somewhere, and one of the main things is a starting soon screen. This is going to be the scene that you want to click on first when you're starting your stream, so that you can maybe play some music before letting everyone join in for a couple minutes, have the ads run, before everyone joins in. And then for sources, you're going to want to go to media source, because most of the time, if you have an animated video, it's going to be media source. It won't be image, because image are still images. So if they move, they're not going to show up if you go to search for a video under image. So if it has movement, most of the time, unless it's a Giphy or something small like an emote, it's going to be a media source. So you click on make media source visible at the bottom, and you're going to name it whatever you want. Right now I'm just going to leave it media source so you can really see. And you're going to browse local files. These are files on your computer. And you're going to find your starting screen video. You're going to hit loop so that it's always looping and that it doesn't just play once and then stop. And you're going to hit close when file isn't active. This will really help your computer to not have to render so much while this scene is not active or this source is not active. And you hit OK. And it should pop in just like that. So congratulations, you already have your starting soon screen set up right there for you. You got your source and your scene. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to set up your just chatting overlay. So we want to add a just chatting. So you're going to click on this plus right here, and you're going to name this just chatting. This is where you're going to sit and just talk to your audience before going in. Maybe you want a different scene set up so that you can just chat for a little bit before you go to play games. It's always going to be empty when you start a new scene. So you're going to go in and you're going to do the same thing. So if you have like a background image that has a little animation in it, you're going to make sure you use that media source again. But if you have just like an image that's still, you can import it through an image like this. You can also import your webcam. You can import your capture card. You can import your browser sources like your alerts and things like that through the source as well. But I'm going to show you my just chatting screen, and that is also going to be a media source. Since I am a VTuber, I am going to name this one I'm going to name this one like bedroom, just so that it's named properly this time. And I'm going to show you guys my bedroom. We're going to hit loop, close file when inactive, and this one you see is a little bit bigger than my window. So I'm going to toggle this at the bottom here, and I'm going to make sure that there's no lines on the sides, and you just pull this to fit the window, and you see how nicely that fits right there. And then once it gets to the size you want it and it fits in the window, you're just going to lock this so that it can't move around when you're adding layers upon it. Now, as a VTuber, I am going to capture my model so that you can see me on the screen. And I'm going to do this through a game capture. I'm going to call this VTuber. And I'm going to capture a specific window. And that window is going to be my VTube studio. And oops, hold on. I turned off my facial tracking. There it is. I look scary for a minute. And I'm going to hit allow transparency so that the back of my VTube studio goes off and that you can see me on the screen behind that on top of my overlay. And I am going to leave everything else the way it is, and I'm going to hit OK. And as you can see me on the screen now. So you see these red lines and how I can move this around. because it's not locked yet. So I'm going to put my VTuber model where I would like it, and it's going to be right here. And I am going to lock this. You see how my bedroom is underneath my VTuber model, but watch what happens if I pull this down below it. You see how I disappear? So you want to make sure you're layering this right. If you add a source and you can't see it, make sure you add the bedroom or like any kind of media source or image that is going to take up the whole screen. Make sure that's on the bottom so that you're able to add layers upon it. And you'll see as you go on that you're going to be adding things in, and maybe that your model may be on top of it, or you may want it behind your model. Just move it down. You know what I mean? And I'll show you what I mean with that. So let's go in, and I'm going to bring in an image this time. And I'm going to bring in one of my emotes. So I'm just going to name this emote. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to browse. I'm going to bring in my bounce emote. And I'm going to unload again when not showing. And I'm going to hit OK. You see how it's up here in the corner? You can pull this to make it bigger or smaller. And you can move it around the screen. You see how it's on top of me right now? But if I was to pull it below my VTuber, it would be behind me. You see? So you really want to make sure that you're layering your scenes properly, and anything that you want behind your VTuber, you know, put it behind your VTuber. But see, if I was to have my VTuber over this image, you wouldn't be able to see it. So that's why I would move the emote. Sometimes it's a little finicky. You got to keep trying, or just pull it down. Pull it down. There you go. And that is how you're able to layer things inside of your scene. To remove a source that you no longer want, you can just right click it and hit remove. So now I'm going to show you how to bring in a webcam. So webcam is going to be a source, and you're going to hit the plus sign, and it's going to be a video capture device because you're capturing in real-time video. We're going to name this webcam. And we are going to search our device, and we're going to pick what webcam we have. It will automatically pop up right here. I just leave everything the way it's supposed to be, you know, like the device default and stuff like that. You can hit deactivate when not showing if you would like to be able to save on some resources on your computer, and then hit OK. And then you're able to move your webcam anywhere you would like. If you want to crop your webcam, you're going to hit Control Alt while this is highlighted, and you're going to see that it turns green whenever you're cropping it. Control Alt on the keyboard, and then you just take your mouse and you can crop this in any way you want. You know, if there's something you don't want seen in the webcam, you can make it as little, as small as you want. And then once you let go of Control Alt, you can pull it, make it bigger. And just to reverse that, you just hit Control Alt again, and then you can just uncrop it that way. That's a cool little trick that I like to do when I want to hide, you know, things on any kind of source you bring in. You can crop these like this. As long as it's unlocked, make sure it's unlocked first. And then you lock it. And then, so say I didn't want my model to be on top of this, or this to be on top of my model. Again, layer it and bring it down. You may have to do it a few times because it wants to be stingy. And there you go. Now I'm on top of it. And then you can have a little webcam here for webcam streams and things like that. Yay. So I'm going to teach you how to bring in another capture device, and I'm going to show you how I do my capture card and how I'm able to play Fortnite with that. And that will be kind of the last scene that I'm going to show you guys. And then I will be doing in another video, I'll be showing you how to set up alerts, and I'll be showing you how to do bot integration and things like that. Okay, so we hit the plus sign, we created our gaming scene, now we're going to add the source. I have a capture card, so that's what I'm going to be showing you guys now. I'm going to go into my video capture device. I'm going to name this capture card. Sorry, it's like 2 a.m. right now. I can't spell. Okay, so we're going to add capture card. And automatically, it just pops up for me because it's my Game Capture HD 60S. And yeah, it's right there. We're just going to capture it. And we're going to do the deactivate when not showing. We're going to leave everything the same. And we are going to capture it. It should fit right in the window, which it does. And yeah, it's perfection. See Fortnite? Isn't it amazing? That skin's the cutest. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in my game capture. We're going to hit add existing and we're going to bring in my VTuber model. Hi, how you doing? And I'm just going to move over to the side so that I can show you guys how to finish setting up this scene. So if you wanted to bring in your webcam, you would do the same thing like I showed you guys. You would bring in your webcam, do existing from when you set it up in the just chatting, hit webcam, and bring it in, and it will pop in. So if you're an IRL streamer, this is how you would bring your webcam in over your gaming scene, and you can make it smaller, put it off to the side like you see IRL streamers do, and that's how you would bring in the webcam. And lock it and do all that fun stuff. So when you bring in your capture card, you're going to have audio, but you can see how I can't hear it, right? So this is going to be an important step, so pay attention. You're going to want to go inside the audio mixer and you're going to want to hit advanced properties. Now you see how everything here is turned mostly to monitor off. I did go in earlier and I fixed and I put my desktop audio to monitor and output. This makes it so that it's on my monitor and it's also shared to stream. You want to leave your microphone to monitor off because you don't want to have an echo when you're streaming if you have this set to monitor and output. But capture card, you do want to change to monitor and output so that you can hear it as well as stream can hear it. Now, I can hear it within my headphones from my monitor and output coming from my capture card. And you will see that right here. And then you can just make it as loud or as soft as you would want. And that's how you enter in your gaming capture card. So, say you're streaming this game straight from your PC. You're just going to add another game capture like I did with my VTuber model. There you go. I hope that tutorial was very helpful. I know that we still have to set up a couple things like our alerts and some more browser sources and things like that. And I'm also going to be showing you guys how to integrate a bot and do a bunch of fun stuff that I haven't shown you yet. There's so much more to go over. But thank you again. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you found this tutorial helpful. Come join me on my Twitch and hang out and have a party with me in the Gummy Army. That's what I call my community. We look forward to seeing you there. And thank you so much again. Bye-bye.